Hello, Mikael, and welcome to Ukraine. Actually, this is such a pleasure for me to welcome you in my native country. And this is so symbolic today to talk to you because this is already half a year. You are with the Forte Group, and this is a good opportunity to talk about your vision of the company, of the further growth, and everything like that. So you've joined the Forte Group at 2022 as a CEO. What motivated you to take such a responsibility at such a challenging time?
So before answering that, first of all, I want to thank everybody in Ukraine for hosting me here in Ternopil, our biggest office within the Forte Group. It's an honor to be here. I haven't been to Ukraine since the pandemic, so it's a great pleasure to see you all here in Ternopil. So me joining Forte, I knew very well what I was after. And previous to Forte, I was with a very similar company. I joined them 5 years ago when we were, at that point, similar in size and maturity to what Forte is now. And with that company, I had just a fantastic run. We built a great team, great clients, we built out the organization, and we tripled in size over 5 years. And I had such a good time. And we were successful, and then we got integrated to a larger company. And that's when I realized that my heart is really to work with smaller companies, growth stage companies. So that's when I realized my next company, I want to do something very similar. So I was looking for a similar company, and then I found Forte.
So that's why you are with Forte Group.
Absolutely. So I feel that not only am I looking forward to 5 years, 7 years, 8 years, 10 years, however long my tenure with Forte might be, I'm looking forward to a great journey. And also, because I've done this before, I've been in the service business for many years, and it's important to me that I feel that I can contribute, and I feel I can contribute a little bit to our success.
And what do you like most about Forte Group culture? How do you feel it?
So what I like most about the culture, so if I speak more than the culture, what I like about Forte, because there's more than culture to it, when I joined, I did my due diligence. I mean, I looked at the numbers, I looked at the clients, our services, but also I spoke to a lot of people. And the thing that really made me make the move was the people. So to me, the key aspect and the strength of Forte is really people. And everybody I met so far has been just...
As a core.
As the core, right? As a services company, it's all about the people. So that's number one. And number two, what I really like about the company and where I think we're different than other companies, and this is a little bit along the lines of culture. And you may know, because you're quite recent to the company as well, but people who's been around for a while, they may not know that our culture, for someone like me come from the outside, it is really a family culture.
Yes.
And of course, it comes from Steve founding the company, leading the company for many years. It has become a family culture, and I really appreciate that. And I see how we treat each other and how we handle our clients. It is a very different style than what you would find in a corporate environment. So people, family culture, I think that to me defines Forte. Also, I would say performance. I have seen very high performance and good attitude when it comes to performance. And maybe it has manifested itself best here in Ukraine, because of course, during the past year with the war and this terrible situation, but what we have witnessed and our clients have witnessed is that our teams have performed at top-notch levels. It's just been amazing to me. And if we can do that under these conditions, we can do anything. So performance is certainly one thing that stands out to me at Forte. And to be maybe a little bit more specific as well, and this comes a bit to strategy, I do like what we're doing in the managed services space. So our technology services office and engineering, they've been working for a few years now in building out a more elaborate engagement model which has really started to take off with our clients. And I'm seeing signs day by day, week by week, how we are gaining very exciting new strategic engagement because of that, some managed services. So maybe that's how I would summarize it. What's really great about Forte, to me at least, it's people, family culture, ambition and performance, and also our drive towards managed services.
And what is important here, I would say that all this is not just artificial, but comes from the heart.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is.
And Forte Group is doing projects for clients from different industries around the globe. Can you tell us about the biggest one and maybe the most interesting?
I think it's good, as you mentioned, that we are not concentrated on one specific industry or one specific client or one specific geography. We're quite diversified, which of course from a business perspective is good, because we don't have all our eggs in one basket. And I think it's also good for our engineers.
Yes.
That people can, there's a variety of, you want to work with a startup client, you want to work with an enterprise client, you want to work on more traditional technology, you want to work on the bleeding edge of technology, you want to work in financial services, or you want to work in another industry. So there's a diversity in our portfolio, which is good. We will need to concentrate a little bit more. And I'll come back to that in a bit. But when you look to, what would I say, famous logos, that we're working with some absolutely stunning clients, and you will certainly recognize all of these. But we have NBC, is an important client of ours, of course. Grubhub, we have, for those who are singles in the organization, we have Tinder, is a pretty large client of ours. We have Abbott Medical. For those based in the US, you might be surprised to know that we're working with Walgreens, a gigantic pharmaceutical retailing company. And then when it comes to industries, so we have certainly strength in financial services. And it might be the first area where we'll be focusing a little bit more on. So we're working on that strategy right now. But in financial services, historically, we have a lot of engagements, not only with the traditional banks and so forth, but also with very exciting fintech companies. So right now, we have a large engagement with Interfirst Mortgage, working with Donnelly, at the same time as we are winning more and more of the fintech companies coming up from Silicon Valley and so forth. So financial services will certainly be important to us going forward. I can foresee that we will focus more on media, healthcare, and also on technology/software type of companies. And also to finish on that, to me it's important that we don't just work with large enterprises. That's where the money is, no doubt about that. But to some extent, my excitement, I know many of our engineers' excitement, is to really work in a startup environment, so work with those type of companies. And it's important for us to, I think, because we keep ourselves a little bit on top of our toes, we get exposure again to new technologies, and we maintain a certain pace within our culture, right? So that's important to me. So we will work with large companies and we will work with startups as well.
And this is great because this allows our people to have this diversity in development, and from company perspective, it's also a way of mitigating some risks, I would say.
Yep.
Great. And last year, we have just finished our values campaign. What do you think about it? Why values are important for corporate life?
So values is not just important for corporate life, all right, it's important for us as individuals. So then it's important that we really work on values, right? That we as a team, and really as a team, not as top management or HR or whatnot, but we as a team, we define what values do we want to have, how do we want to interact with each other, how do we want to be perceived by our clients. So those to me are values. So, and even more important maybe as we grow and as we have a lot of new people coming, one of the first things they should ask themselves when they join, does this company's value align with my values? So we need to be able to convey to people, this is Forte, this is what we stand for, this is our expectation on you as you become a Forte. And maybe on a final note, so we have values, that's fine, everybody understands it. But I also feel that's important that people, when they feel maybe not lost, but what should I do? I have a tricky situation with my client. I think use your common sense, right? Be decent and do the right thing. That's all there is to it, right? Do the right thing. Don't make it too complicated. And to do that, of course, you need to have information, access to what we're about and so forth. And we are striving to become a very open company, so everybody has access to information and they can make the right decision in the right moment.
And not just access to information, but also support from management. And I think that here we are also good because we are doing in this direction as well.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, and soon Forte Group will be over 900 people, and that is all about managing them. So what is interesting is your understanding, your feeling of the successful management in general and maybe in particular as well.
So first, I think there's a difference between management and leadership. Leaders, they show the way, management facilitate. But when it comes to taking a company forward for a little bit for the more long run, and I think I alluded to this in my first town hall as well, I think it's imperative that companies decide on their own fate. What do we want to become? That it's not just so happens that we became this company, it's because we had the foresight, the desire to walk in that direction. And I have seen many services companies that have no desire, no direction, they just take orders from their clients, and with that you end up being whatever, right? You don't know. I'm not that type of person at all. So I think it's important to define our own destiny, with that state our vision, what do we want to become far out in the future, and then make sure that we really execute towards that. There's nothing that I dislike more than just fluffy words and there's no action. I don't have time for that. I mean,
no strategy, no action.
Strategy. So that's, you have the vision, and then the strategy is what makes that vision hopefully come alive. So to me it's important that we have an exciting big vision, but then that we have a strategy with the right steps into it, and that strategy is connected to a financial plan. Because without financial plan, it doesn't sit well with me. And thirdly then, if you take it from vision, strategy, to be very more tactical, we need to have an annual plan. So we have a plan for this year that we outlined, the extended leadership team outlined that plan in December, and we iterated on that plan, of course. And that plan, it has a budget connected to it. So plan and financials, they go hand in hand. And then what's also important to me when we execute is that we have strong leaders that have the mandate to execute within their own charter. I do not like micromanagement. I don't think anyone does, but still it happens in corporate world. So what I want to see in leaders is people that can, they get a mandate, they understand their charter, they understand what's expected of them, and they carry accountability for that. So again, I've also summarized it. What you asked about leadership and management, I think is about very important. We define our destiny, we set our vision, it needs to be ambitious. We have a strategy with a financial plan, a yearly plan with a budget. We have performance management where the right leaders, they have authority and accountability to just run with it, but also that we very much base our decision making on facts, data, not on opinions. That'll be my summary of how I see leadership in this company.
And what is the vision and strategy of the Forte Group for the next few years? What you would specify as priorities for our development?
So if I speak a little bit longer term, and maybe starting point my personal ambition, I would love for us to have built a company that is an envy to our peers, right, competitors. I would have loved to build a company that we can all be proud of, we can showcase to our kids, you know what, I was actually part of building that freaking company. So that's what motivates me. I would love to, in a few years, be in a position where clients, they come to us because they have heard so many good things about us. I would love for new employees to be coming to us, that we are a magnet for new employees. I would love for some of our competitors to come to us and want to join us, be acquired by us because we're running a freaking good company. So that's sort of how I work. I might be full of it, but that's my personal aspiration. Then for the vision, the explicit vision that we have set, and this is a bigger vision, and something that we worked on just before the holidays. Again, the extended leadership team, we met in Chicago for a few days and we worked on vision and strategy. And what we decided for, that our vision is to be number one for the mid-market. And the mid-market is a very, very large proportion of the global, or the US and the European, I should say, market segments. That will take some time. That means we need to get like 800 million, $1 billion. That will take 7-8 years or whatnot. The strategy behind that and the steps that we're taking, I find them really exciting. And I think the first one is really make sure that we are a co-creating partner to our clients, meaning that we are not just a backseat driver with our clients, meaning that we don't just take orders, we're not just staffing, but we are really helping them develop their futures. And for example, taking responsibilities for entire products or product lines of our clients.
And we are empowered to do so, they trust to us and everything like that.
Which doesn't come easy, right? Because you can say so, but you really have to prove so.
This is a big job, actually.
Remember that Forte started out as staff aug, and we're still doing staff. We will do staff aug because it's an important part of our business. But in order to claim that position of a co-creating really partner, that requires, and I think this is really important, that our managed services offering, they need to be top notch. And we are doing so well, we don't have the big scale yet, but I'm seeing proofs, substantial proofs that we're coming to a point where clients are really trusting us with large responsibility. I mean, we're discussing with some of our clients right now, but we will not just run a scrum team for them, 2 scrum teams or whatnot. We will actually be responsible for a full-fledged product, meaning that the client, they own the strategy, they own sales, they own product vision. But after product vision, it's us. We execute from product vision all the way to delivery of a successful product. That to me is co-creation. So co-creation with clients, managed services, and then the third element that we need to build out to achieve this is we need to have a much wider service portfolio. I think we're doing well in engineering, software engineering, but what will happen the coming few years, you will see, and we will see, that we will need to add practices for data science. We need to build out our strategy practice. I think our product management, we're doing well in product management. I do believe we need to build it out, become more strategic. I can well foresee that we need to build out design, user experience to a more well-rounded practice again. So we'll see that add to our portfolio as we move forward. And also to this, if we want to become this co-creating partner, it is clear to me that we need to understand our clients' industries well. If not better than our clients, that's maybe to ask for too much, but at least well, so that we can take these larger responsibilities. So if they want to set the product vision and we run everything after that, we have to understand their industry, their clients, and their competitive landscape. So for us to build out vertical expertise, and I might have spoken about this before, but I do foresee financial services, media, healthcare, and software. It's a broader sector, but in these 4 areas, I can very much foresee that we need to build and enhance our capability as well to become the co-creating partner. Now, lastly, when it comes to geography and where do we reach out to potential clients? So Forte, we have a good footprint in the US, I would say. The US is large, so we have plenty of more space to work from and eat from, if you like. So we'll do that for certain. US will remain the most important geographical market for us. We have taken steps towards Europe now, so only a few, well, maybe a month, 2 months ago, we put together a European business team under the leadership of Kevin Mayer. So we do foresee that we will have great business, maybe not across all of Europe, but in selected countries. And in some time, it is definitely not our aspiration to also have direct clients in Latin America. As you know, we deliver enormously well from Colombia, from Argentina. I see no reason why in some time, we would not start to have local clients in LATAM as well. So that's how I would sort of frame the vision and the ambition for the company. Build a company that people will be jealous of. Number one for the mid-market, co-create with our clients, manage services is the core of what we're doing. Expand the service portfolio, vertical expertise, and then go deeper in the US, wider in Europe, and start to see some exciting clients in LATAM. And those are the main strategies that we're working around.
This is really a big job, but sounds very inspiring.
The strategy is really, it's a journey. This is not being done this quarter, next quarter. This is a journey throughout the coming years, and we will iterate as we move along, but this is like the main direction that we have ahead of us.
Mikael, and actually this is not a surprise that today's market is full of challenges for business. What is your vision? How is the company is doing during this difficult time?
Yes, so we touched upon it in previous town halls as well, in that the market has deteriorated the last few months and even weeks. And this impacts everybody, as we know. I would say that high level, we have, of course, the war here in Ukraine. We have the overall economic slowdown. We're seeing that companies are slimming and trimming their technology organizations. There was this financial turmoil initiated in Silicon Valley by Silicon Valley Bank a few weeks ago, which now caused the venture capital market to slow down as well. So absolutely, the market is slowing down. We're moving from, I would say, there's been tailwind in this market for quite a few years, and now it is definitely a headwind. So it affects us, it affects most people in this industry. It's what it is. Now, our responsibility is not to see this as an excuse. It is not. We can do much better than our...
Just to cover.
Yes, I mean, it's what it is, but I think we can do, and we are doing better than our peers. If you look to the public announcements that is coming out the coming weeks from people that are listed and who made their IPO, our competitors, from what I know and the people that I speak to in the industry, many companies are seeing now a decline in business or a flat business. Now, when I look to our business, and this is again coming back to where we need to take our own destiny in our own hands. And that's what we're doing. So the market is what it is, but the positive thing is that I believe we know, and I feel we know how to maneuver in these situations. So we need to do our own stuff, and we're doing rather well. So specifically what we're doing is that we're building out our go-to-market approach, our go-to-market team. So we're accelerating, creating our own demand. You cannot rely on tailwind from the market. You need to create your demand. It's just a different level of difficulty in how to maneuver a business. So we're building out the sales team, we're building out the account team or account management team. Marketing is now coming in place. So we have Jane, our new marketing director, joined us 6-7 weeks ago, and we're just picking up speed with great campaigns and whatnot. Our TSO team, under the leadership of CJ Montano, is also expanding and supporting this effort really well. So when it comes to creating our own demand, I see very good signs. So we have more prospects than, at least I've seen, I haven't been there for long, but we have more prospects, we have more opportunities than we had when I joined. I see it in the wins that we're making. We're making new logo wins, we're making wins with some of our current clients. And also the type of deals that we're working on, they are of substance, I would say. So we won one new client the other day where I know we will ramp to 30 or even 40 people the next few quarters. So even though it's challenging, and I really want to acknowledge that, it is challenging. It will have an impact on us. But I feel even more powered up in these situations, because this is the challenge, right? This is when you see who can step up and who is giving in and just blaming it on the market, and we are stepping up. So to finish on this, I think many companies in the industry, they're shrinking. I do believe both in the activities that we're doing and the data that I see in our numbers, I think we will be growing this year versus previous year as well. It won't be easy, but that's what it looks like. So I'm concerned about the market, but I'm totally powered up by all the good things that we're doing.
We are in a good direction.
Good direction, that's how we say it.
And during 2022, Forte Group grew up by 30%. And what do you think? Why people choose Forte Group as a place to work?
I would think we should ask engineers, don't ask me, but I would think, and what I'm hearing from people now that I'm here in Ternopil and in Poland and elsewhere speaking to our folks, I would think that one of the more important things is that the opportunity for personal growth, meaning that you, as an engineer, you have the opportunity to work with a diverse set of clients in different industries. That if you want to, you have the opportunity to work with different technologies, that you have the opportunity to work with new technologies. So, and also, maybe not least, because we're now so international, that from a personal growth perspective, that you can, if you would like to, aspire to work in a different location for a different Forte company or country, if you like. That to me is exciting, and I am so happy to see that we have that movement
between countries,
and even between continents. I mean, that's even more exciting, right? So I think it's a personal growth. I think that's what I hear is important to our engineers, and we do provide that, and we will provide more of that as we grow. I think the second aspect for many people, I do know, is to have very good colleagues, people that you work with on a day-to-day basis, meaning that we attract people of shared values, people that are decent, people that are fun and engaging to be around. I think that's important to people as well. So personal growth, very good team members that you interact with on a day-to-day basis. And maybe the third element is that our people have an opportunity to work with very good clients.
Yes.
Clients that, it's important, right? And clients that not only that they're successful, that they're growing, because if they're growing, we're growing because we're so close with them, but also client that has a culture that is aligned to ours. And believe me, I have seen clients which are not good. They treat some of their partners like second-class engineers. We don't want to have those. So if we can make sure...
So here we are picky.
We are picky, and we also, and the sales folks listening to this, they know when they join me on sales calls that I make a point when I speak to new prospects that I have a responsibility to bring in good new clients. It's my promise to our engineers. So we're trying to sort out that we don't have bad apples coming in and people specifically thinking that they can treat, just because we are a partner to them, that they can treat us differently than their own. I also make a point, or we do in sales, we make a point that the Forte engineer, they should see them as their own engineer, treat them equally good. That's just how things goes. And maybe fourthly, what I hear is important from our employees is that not only do we have a good culture, a solid culture, but that people can help us develop that culture. It's not just HR, management defining a culture, but it's really a culture that's evolving, and is evolving from the core, which is our engineering folks, of course, right? So there's this one saying that I utilize very often these days. It's part of the strategy. When we build culture, it really has to be built by engineers for engineers, not for other people, but our engineers build the culture for this company. I mean, that's really important. And I have seen, and you may not believe this, but because I've been in these larger organizations, it comes to a point where large organizations are no longer about the engineers. It's about the support functions. That won't happen under my watch in this company, right? So maybe fourthly then, the opportunity for our people to build the culture, not have it dictated for them.
That is pretty much important for our people.
Yes.
The future of the technical industry is moving so quickly, as you know. So what you would advise to successful companies to do to develop and to attract the attention of clients and society in this difficult situation? Quick one. So
from a technology perspective, so what I'm thinking about, and I guess what most people are thinking about right now is of course around AI. At least that's what's top of my mind. And I'm not sure that I'm the very best person to speak on this topic. We have so many excellent technologies in the company. This might be an area where our technology services office with CJ Montana could build upon. But when it comes to AI, and of course what we have seen with ChatGPT coming out mid-December, I still recall I downloaded ChatGPT the same day it came out, and I was just blown away about it, right? And I think we all are. So maybe I'm not in a position to advise other companies, but to our own companies when it comes to AI, and I think we're coming into, at least, we're maybe not there, but we're coming into a pivotal moment for how AI will have an impact on the work that we are performing for our clients. What type of tools are coming out, and they're coming out at such a rapid pace right now. The GitHub Copilot, for example, I know that some of our clients are buying licenses for us to use in some of the assignments. But what are all the other tools that are coming in place that will have an impact on software development? I think that's super exciting. Also, to me, when it comes to AI, is of course, how can we internally within Forte utilize AI on a more accelerated pace? And what we have seen so far is our marketing team. I mean, they have really picked up the baton and they're running with it right now, so that our content creation, for example, is just moving at a way different pace than it did maybe half a year ago. So if you ask me, AI is by far the bigger trend that is impacting us and our clients right now. But I would love for you to ask that same question to CJ at some point of time.
Deal. So thank you, Mikael, for this conversation today here in Ternopil. I believe you will have a nice time with our people here and in Kyiv as well. So once more, welcome to Ukraine.
Thank you so much. And I also want to thank everybody here in Ukraine for welcoming me. Again, it is an honor to be back here in Ukraine. Also to the rest of the Forte people all out there, I've been here for a few months now. I'm having the time of my life. We're doing great things, and I think we will have a very prosperous future together. Thank you all for joining.